If you run more than one Reddit account, you already know the quiet way it ends. One morning your posts stop showing up. You can still log in, you can still comment, everything looks normal on your screen, but nobody else can see a thing you say. That is a shadow ban, and Reddit hands them out generously the moment it decides two or more of your accounts are really the same person on the same device. And it is not just shadow bans. When Reddit links a cluster of accounts together, it does not stop at one. It tends to sweep the whole group at once. You log into account 3 to do some normal posting, and accounts 1, 2, 4, and 5 all go dark in the same hour because the system traced them all back to the same phone and the same IP. I run a real cloud phone farm in Singapore. Real physical Android handsets sitting on dedicated hardware, each one with its own persistent Singapore mobile carrier IP from Singtel, M1 or StarHub. People come to me after they have already lost a batch of Reddit accounts, and the story is almost always the same. They were running everything from one place, and Reddit noticed, so in this video I want to walk through exactly how Reddit links accounts and how to actually run several of them without the whole stack collapsing. First, let me be clear about who this is for. This is for community managers, agencies, and marketing operators who have a legitimate reason to run more than one account. Maybe you manage subreddits for different clients. Maybe you run a brand account plus a personal account plus a couple of niche accounts in communities you genuinely participate in. The mechanics are the same whether your intent is clean or not, so I am going to focus on the mechanics, and you decide how to use them. So how does Reddit actually link accounts? There is no single magic signal. It is a stack of them layered together, and the more of them two accounts share, the more confident Reddit gets that they are one operator. The first and biggest one is IP address. If two accounts post from the same IP, Reddit sees them coming from the same network. A home connection, an office connection, a single VPN exit, a cheap data center IP, they all look like one location. Reddit has been doing this for years and it is very good at it. Share an IP across accounts and you have already handed Reddit half the case against you. The second signal is the device itself. When you use the Reddit app or even a mobile browser, the platform can read a pile of device level details. Screen size, OS version, language, time zone, hardware identifiers, the fingerprint of the browser. Two accounts that report the exact same device profile look like two hats on one head. And people make this worse by using one phone and just logging in and out, or by running a stack of emulators on one machine that all report nearly identical fingerprints. The third signal is behavior. Reddit watches when you are active, how you type, what you upvote, which subreddits you visit, even how fast you switch between accounts. If account 1 logs out and account 2 logs in 30 seconds later from the same place, over and over, that pattern alone is enough to tie them together. Humans do not hot swap identities like that. And the fourth one is the obvious stuff people forget. The same recovery email pattern, the same password style, linking the accounts to each other by replying to your own posts, upvoting your own comments, or cross-promoting between them in a way no two strangers would. Reddit spam systems and its volunteer moderators both look for exactly this. Put it together and the lesson is simple. An account is not just a username and a password. To Reddit, an account is a username plus a device plus an IP plus a behavior pattern. If you want two accounts to look like two real people, all of those layers have to be different and they have to stay different over time. This is where most setups fall apart. People focus on the username and ignore everything underneath it. They buy a VPN and think they are covered, but a VPN gives a whole crowd of strangers the same handful of exit IPs, and Reddit has seen those IPs abused 1,000 times already. They spin up emulators, but emulators report telltale fingerprints that mobile-first platforms increasingly flag on site, so the username changes and nothing else does, and Reddit links the accounts anyway. The clean answer is one account per real device on its own mobile IP. That is the whole principle, and everything else is detail. Each account lives on a separate phone with a separate identity, and it reaches Reddit through its own carrier mobile connection that nobody else is sharing. Let me explain why a real mobile IP matters so much for Reddit specifically. Mobile carriers hand out IP addresses to thousands of ordinary phones. and those addresses rotate naturally among real people all day long, so a carrier IP is the least suspicious kind of address on the internet. It looks like exactly what most Reddit users actually are, someone on their phone on 4G or 5G. When your account posts from a real Singtel or StarHub or M1 IP, it blends into the enormous crowd of genuine mobile users. A data center IP does the opposite. It announces that you are a server, and servers do not browse Reddit for fun, and this is the part people get wrong even when they pay for mobile EPs elsewhere. It has to be a dedicated IP that stays with that one account. If you are sharing a rotating mobile pool with 100 other buyers, you are right back to the original problem. The moment another customer in that pool gets flagged, the IP gets a reputation and your account inherits it. On my farm, each phone holds its own persistent Singapore mobile IP, the same one session after session, so the account builds a stable history from a stable address, exactly like a normal person who keeps the same phone. Now the device side, this is where a real phone beats every software trick. An emulator has to invent a phone, and the invention is never perfect. The hardware identifiers, the sensor readings, the architecture underneath, all of it can give the game away to a platform that bothers to look. A real Android handset does not have to fake anything because it genuinely is what it claims to be. Real screen, real sensors, real OS, real everything. When each of your accounts lives on its own real phone, the device layer is solved without any spoofing at all. Let me talk about aged accounts and karma, because this is the part people are most impatient about. A brand new Reddit account with zero karma and an account name full of random numbers is treated with suspicion by default. It cannot post in many subreddits at all. Its links get auto-removed. Its comments sit in a queue. Reddit simply does not trust a day-old account, and it should not, because that is what spammers create by the thousand. So age and karma are not vanity numbers, they are trust. An account that is a few months old, that has a handful of real comments in communities it actually belongs to, that has earned some upvotes from real people is treated completely differently. It can post links, it can participate in stricter subreddits, and it survives automated sweeps that wipe out the fresh accounts. You cannot fake this overnight, you build it. Which brings me to warm up. When you put an account on a fresh phone with a fresh IP, do not log in and immediately start posting your links. That is the single fastest way to burn it. For the first week or two, just use the account like a person. Read, scroll, upvote things you actually like. Leave a few genuine comments in subreddits you care about. Join some communities, let the account build a normal little history before it ever does anything that looks like work. The same goes for the device and the IP, let them settle. An account that quietly browses from the same phone and the same mobile IP for a couple of weeks looks far more real than one that appears out of nowhere and starts dropping links on day one. You are establishing a baseline of normal behavior so that when the account does start contributing, nothing about it spikes. Now posting cadence, and this is per subreddit, not just per account. Every subreddit has its own culture and its own rate limits, written and unwritten. Some will remove a second link from the same user within a day. Some expect you to comment 10 times for every time you post. Some have karma thresholds, account age thresholds, or require you to be an active member before you can submit anything, so treat each community on its own terms. Read the rules, watch what established members actually do, and match that rhythm across your whole stack. Keep the cadence human. A real person does not post 20 times a day, every day like clockwork. They post when they have something, they take days off, they comment more than they submit. Spread your activity out, vary the timing, and never let two of your accounts show up in the same thread backing each other up. That last one is a classic tell, and moderators catch it constantly. Let me run through the common mistakes quickly because avoiding them is most of the battle. Mistake 1, sharing one IP across accounts. Mistake 2, running everything from one device and just switching logins. Mistake 3, trusting a VPN or a shared rotating proxy pool to hide you. Mistake 4, brand new accounts posting links on day one with no warm-up. Mistake 5, the accounts interacting with each other, upvoting and replying to themselves. Mistake 6, identical behavior across accounts. Same time, same subreddit, same writing style. And mistake 7, ignoring each subreddit's own rules and just blasting the same thing everywhere. Every one of those is a signal that ties your accounts together or marks them as inauthentic. The fix for almost all of them is the same structure I keep coming back to. Separate real device, separate real mobile IP, patient warm-up, and human cadence. Now scaling. If one account is one phone on one IP, then 10 accounts is 10 phones on 10 IPs. And that sounds like a lot of hardware. That is exactly why cloud phones exist. Instead of buying 10 handsets and 10 SIMs and managing them on your desk, you run real phones in a farm and control each one from your browser. Each phone is genuinely separate hardware with its own persistent mobile IP. So to Reddit, they are 10 unrelated people in Singapore, which is the whole point. The workflow stays simple as you grow. One operator can manage several accounts by opening each phone in a browser tab, doing that account's warm-up and posting, then moving to the next. Because the device and the IP never change for a given account, each one keeps a stable, believable history. You are not juggling logins on one device and praying Reddit does not connect the dots. Each identity simply has its own real phone all the time. If you want to try this, there is a free 48-hour trial on the site. Go to cloud.one, spin up a real Singapore phone with its own mobile IP, put one Reddit account on it, and just watch how it behaves compared to whatever you were running before. 48 hours is plenty of time to see whether the account feels stable, whether it posts cleanly, and whether this is the structure your operation has been missing. Quick recap before I let you go. Reddit links accounts by IP, by device, by behavior, and by the careless connections people leave between accounts. The way through is one account per real device on its own dedicated mobile IP, accounts that are aged and have real karma, a patient warm-up, and a human posting cadence tuned to each subreddit. Get the structure right, and you stop fighting the platform. If this was useful, subscribe because the next video goes deep on warming a brand new account from zero to a trusted poster without tripping a single flag. Step by step, the exact routine I use. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one.